right, here we are, Husker Heat, our first episode of the season, being able to call Nebraska the Big Ten regular season champions. First time in 12 years, I believe, that they've won a conference title. And from what Nate Rohr was saying on the radio, it's the first time since 2002 they've won an outright conference title, which is fantastic. And gosh, and what else on top of that can you say? They set the Big Ten record for best record ever of a team winning a title in a normal season. I think they played like a weird all conference season in 2020 in the COVID year. So they tied that because I think they played like 28 games and whoever won the title won 23, but Nebraska didn't go 23-5. They went 23-1. It is a Big Ten record. So great things there. Right away, let's just go through. They finished the regular season with a 43-6 record. The conference at 23-1, Big Ten champs. They won 18 in a row to finish the season. And what are you doing over there, you goober? There's like a little tiny head on the screen, and you're making these weird faces. Oh, there we go. Tatum is in the house again. He's like, well, why are you what's you doing here, mama? And so yeah, and then the rankings came in, and they are now the consensus number 2 team in the country. All 4 polls have them at number 2. Oklahoma is the consensus number 1. The only one we moved up in was the NFCA Go Route, the coaches poll. They'd had us at number 3. They moved us up to number 2. So not everything's number 2, but now most importantly, at least in a week, we're not going to talk a ton about that tonight with the Big Ten tournament coming up, but RPI wise and when it comes to selection wise for the NCAAs, they're virtually a lock to host a regional. And I'll get into more of these, but we had a press conference this morning and got to ask Rhonda a few questions. And one of the things I asked her was, do you think you've done everything you guys can do to lock down a top 8 seed and put yourself in position to host if you win your regional, then to host a super regional the next weekend? And she said pretty much where we are right now today, given our out of conference strength of schedule, number 1 in the country, a competitive strength of schedule overall. I think it was like 11th or 12th created by that. She says, yes, I think we absolutely will get a top 8 national seed. And I believe her. We moved up to number 3 in the country in RPI after the Penn State series. And that was a good thing because they were kind of a paper tiger. They had a really good record, to look at there. I think they were like, 32-17 or something like that. Now they're 32-20. And get some crotch licking in there. Yeah, but they had not played a tough non-conference schedule at all. So RPI wise, they were behind a lot of higher ranked teams with not as shiny records in the Big Ten. Now in national RPI, we're number 3. Number 1 is Arkansas, not Oklahoma. Number 2 is Alabama. We're number 3. Texas is number 4, and Florida is number 5, and Oklahoma is number 6 in RPI. Oklahoma played a very weak out of conference schedule. In the SEC, what's that?
Well, no shit. Oklahoma's a bunch of what.
Well, yeah, we hate Oklahoma too.
Why wouldn't we hate Oklahoma?
They were always kind of the rival that there was mutual respect there in football when before we busted up the conference, and they were always that was where we always played the Iowa game. Oklahoma was our original like Black Friday, Thanksgiving last game of the season,
Their
and just about always
for
all the marbles in the Big 8. What's that?
Their softball fans are annoying. Like if something goes against them, they whine so much.
You know what? I'll say that they definitely have some. I think most of them are all right. I remember reading, mostly positive things when Jordy transferred. A lot of well wishes. They're like, hey, you gave us your all. We won 2 national titles. We get it. You're from Nebraska. And most of that was, hey, we understand. And usually people won't put the positive out there at all you see are the screaming maniacs. Well, yeah, when we went to number one in the NFCA poll that one week, a lot of what felt like a lot of Oklahoma griping, and that one where I tried to say I think we're hearing the really shrieky minority. I still believe that there's not bad blood for Jordy Ball from Oklahoma fans. I think most of them understood it. Yeah, you're going to get some of that nutty stuff. I think I threw in a response on the Corn Nation, and
Well,
the
I
Corn
think they're
Nation
annoying, and
Twitter.
I think you know why.
What's that?
I said I think they're annoying, and I think you know why.
Oh yeah, they're a bit of a cult, shall we say?
I wasn't gonna
Is that
say
where
it,
you're
but yeah,
going with that? Yeah, really,
they're
really, really
cold.
Christians. But to be honest, like I said, I don't think there's a lot of hatred there for her. They just got annoyed when we jumped them for number one for a week, and that's the SEC. And I just put in there. I said, yeah, our conference schedule is definitely not strong. I'm not going to pretend it is, but we played the toughest non-conference schedule in the country. We're a top 15 strength of schedule overall, so no apologies. We deserved it. So anyway, that's where we are in rankings and all that sort of thing. And I want to say definitely tonight with if you have any questions, I'll go ahead and throw up the seeds. Here's the bracket for the tournament. This was such a goofy thing. I was telling Mylie earlier. It's like I almost missed the first game because they put the schedule out for these brackets and had set times, dates, everything, with the seeds, no small print. But what should have been in the small print was that I think it was if Maryland had made the tournament, which they didn't, thank God. That would have been for a really weak Big Ten, but they would have had first choice of like brackets, say it's divided kind of into four brackets to start with, two lower ranked teams, and then order that playing one of the top four seeds. And so not having that, Nebraska got it. And so they play at 4:30 out there. Like the times you see up there, very important if you're making notes. Those are Eastern times. So we were scheduled to play at 4:30. That's where the number one seed was set originally, but we had a choice. We took an earlier time for more rest, and I was getting set to have a flight come in, out there at about 2:00. So that gave me 2.5 hours to get to the ballpark for a 4:30 game. But then I remembered it's like I really don't trust the Big Ten. There's always something goofy last minute going on with them, and I don't trust airlines. So I switched it to where I'm going to get down to Kansas City at like 6 a.m. to take a 7:45 flight and get in Washington time at 11. Now for a 1:30 game out there, whereas I just would have missed that game if I had not done that. So anyway, there's your story about how setting the brackets and the times work. But so let's see. Let's just go through it real quick. Just Nebraska. So we're playing the winner of number 8 Ohio State, number 9 Michigan, and then if we win that game, when we win that game, let's go ahead and be cocky. We will play the winner of Indiana or or whoever wins Minnesota Washington in the first round. I kind of like Washington to win that game. I think they're a better team than Indiana. I'll go through kind of the teams we have the potential to play here in a few. But that's where we're sitting there, and then we play at 12:30 Central on Thursday. The semis would be at 4 Central on Friday, and then Saturday's championship game for some reason's late afternoon. I really wanted to fly back that night, but the latest flights that were open going out are at like 6:30, so I'll be coming back Sunday. But yeah, they're playing that at like 4 in the afternoon Eastern, so 3 Central. And yeah, let's see if we can win the regular season title and the tournament title. I'd have to look. I think it's been a while since somebody swept both of those, unless Northwestern did it like 3 years ago or so. But anyhow, that's what we're looking at there. Huh?
Anyhow.
Anyhow.
Anywho.
Oh, you're changing it from anyhow to anyhow.
You said anyhow.
Anyhow.
It's
Anywho's.
anyhow.
I'll just do my best Jim Brockmeyer. Anywho's.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to watch Brockmeyer now that you're doing diamond sports. There's people out there who
Doing
watch
diamond. Oh,
Brockmeyer, aren't there? Just, if you haven't, and you're a baseball fan or even a softball fan, I just say give it a try. You can find that. Actually, it's back on Netflix. It had gone away for about 2 or 3 years. So let's see. We got a
hey, and
comment
you
up.
can password share on Netflix again.
What's that?
You can password share
Oh,
on
did they
Netflix
finally
again.
drop it? I
Yeah, we've
I
been able
think
to use it no problem.
Yeah, well, I think what happened was that I keep meaning to ask Hillary, because when she'd have to reset us like weekly, basically me, Mylie, and my sister Hillary just
I
we
wasn't using that one.
no, but we all share a bunch of the streaming
Oh,
services.
yeah, yeah.
That's all I was saying, and we were getting to the point where it was like weekly or quicker. Like if she watched it, then she'd have to reset us, and I think she just started doing it out of habit. But I did see that I think went away. So yeah, good. They had to be getting some blowback on that when they're the only streaming service doing it. I think
Well,
they kind of hoped everybody would jump in line.
they had to be losing a lot of money because I know people were canceling out of like just being mad at them for it,
Right.
and I mean people weren't wanting to sign up.
Yeah.
It's
Especially
not
when
going
you're
to make you money.
mm-mm. And when you're the only one doing it. Then I think that was kind of
Yeah.
I
Well,
compare
HBO Max said they were going to start, but they haven't, so who knows?
no, and I like to compare it to Big Ten hockey when Jim Delaney, I think, was still in charge of the Big Ten and said, "All right, Big Ten's playing hockey, so Minnesota and Wisconsin get over here from the WCHA, Michigan State get over here from the CCHA, Penn State's in, and they had 7 teams, and he was like going to try and lean on everybody to start hockey if they didn't have it, and no one did. Like Nebraska wasn't going to do it because here's UNO up the road with hockey, so you don't really want to take on your own someone in your own system in an area where you're not up in the Minnesota, you're not up in like the upper Midwest Minnesota and all that, and you're not in the Northeast, and so you really don't want to have two programs fighting each other. So I kind of compared Netflix to that. Hey, everybody join us, and nobody did, and so and those 7 teams are doing fine. It's a very good small conference. I mean, the one UNO's in the NCHC, which is sort of like the SEC. I like to say of college hockey, and there's only 8 teams in that, and that's a nice strong conference. But anyway, Netflix and college hockey. Remember that. You heard it here first. Let's check the comments real quick. We got a couple, and it is Connor.
Oh, God.
Nice dog. Yeah, there he is. Connor says,
Show
"Nice
me your
dog.
dog.
Show me your dog." Now, what? Oh yeah, that's the kid. That means
Show
you
me
guys
your
get
dog. It's like,
that
show me
means
your tits.
what? Well, I guess you can show your dog's tits on,
He
if you're
doesn't, it's a dude. He doesn't
and
have
if y'all are into
tits.
that. Oh, there's man breast. Come on now, don't you put your puppy down.
He
All
has
right,
a pee-pee.
no kidding. Yeah. No, oh God, I thought you were gonna lift his leg or something. All right.
No.
Anywho's, um, let's talk a little bit about what's going on this week. Well, the Penn State series, it was a tale of just 3 completely different games. The first game, we win 5-1. We took a 1-0 lead. They tied it up, and then we just chipped away a run at a time. Literally scored 1 run in 5 different innings, and they just didn't have an answer for Jordy Fromm. She threw 7 inning, like 4 hit shutout there, or one run, 7 inning 1 run, like 4 hit performance there. Game two, that really looked like an L was coming.
Oh, he farted.
Thank you.
Ew.
and, and actually, since you gassed her, thank you, Tatum. So Penn State started Bridget Nemeth, and she was a freshman All-American 2 years ago. She was like 23-8 with a 177 ERA. And when I asked Rhonda about, this year is like she missed all of last season. This year she's only thrown 65 innings, but they've got a staff of 5 pitchers that just distributed all. Every one of them's thrown between like 55 and 65 innings, or at least going into this last weekend. And whatever was bothering her last year, it's like because they never really said what the injury was. she's definitely kind of a shade of herself from 2 years ago. Her ERA is 4.91. I think her record's like 4-5. She's just giving it. She's nowhere near as dominant. But for 5 innings on Saturday, she looked like the Bridget Nemeth of 2024. Uh, she, I mean, she just had Nebraska just fooled. And yeah, and Rhonda said, she goes, because I remember being at the game. She pitched a game or two in Lincoln in 24, and she was everything that was advertised. She was a shutdown pitcher. I think they got a few runs on her one game, might have beat her one out of the two. But yeah, she was a very, very dominant pitcher. She's not that anymore, but she was for 5 innings. And then they touched her up. They got going. They were down 4-1 going into the sixth, and then scored 6 runs in the sixth and 3 more in the seventh to win going away 10-4. And one thing about Nemeth is it Nemeth or Name? It may be pronounced Namath, but she's got this just cocky, goofy smile going when she's feeling it. And she's just kind of smirking at the hitters, and it really annoyed a friend of mine. When we finally bashed her up a little in that game, it's like I just got a text and said, "Huh, I don't see her smiling now." Just all pissed off. So they come back, they run her, they beat up.
Was it Trap?
It was Trap. They beat up the gal that came in to relieve her, and 9 runs in the last 2 innings. Then on Sunday, they got 8 runs in the first 3 innings. They were up 8-0, and that's basically the ball game. They traded some runs back and forth, but every time they'd get a run, we answered. Jordy hit a pair of home runs. Jordy had been slumping a little, as much as Jordy could slump. And she started off a little slow, and then she finished the weekend. I think final game, she was 4 for 4, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. And she scored 5 runs over the weekend, stole a base, and finished 6 for 12. So turned right into Jordy again. And then she just poured it on him that day. So, nice sweep of Penn State. So they finished the conference season 23-1. The only loss was against UCLA when they won 2 out of 3. I'll just say this. I was kind of looking at, when they're going to start looking, because the bracketology still has them, that came out today, still has them as like projected number 6 national seed. And I'm like, if everybody's got them ranked 2 and their RPI is 3, just how much of an SEC ass kiss are you to find a way to drop them to 6? This is these are polls that, like the ESPN poll, being that funds the SEC's TV, they've got a vested interest in their success, and they've even got us number 2. So I don't get where that number 6 is coming from, but we'll find out on Sunday. My plan is like land in Kansas City, and I assume they'll invite us up for the watch party again. And that's the first time I'd ever been to like a college watch party of any time. If you ever get a chance, that for whatever reason you can kind of be in there, I say do it. It was so much fun. And this wasn't a case of where they were going to be surprised they were going or anything. They were going. They knew they'd done enough to make it. But it was just fun seeing them excited. They were really excited about going to LSU. And I don't think anybody, unless you go to a watch party where the team doesn't get selected, I wouldn't advise doing that. Somebody's on the bubble, you might want to stay near the door, because I think you're going to get a different reaction. But it was just really fun watching these college kids just so excited to be going where they were going and happy about it. They didn't explode like, say, if someone would if they got the number 1 overall seed or were on the bubble. But they were just really happy. It's a fun thing to see. But okay, I wanted to look at just some of our losses, not do a whole deep dive into that, because that's not till Sunday. But I was going to say all our losses are good. We lost to number 6 Texas, number 27 Washington, number 13 UCLA, number 7 Tennessee, number 15 Okie State, and then number 8 UCLA. And then our wins were pretty fantastic. I don't know if I wrote all the wins down. No, I was just kind of going through there, but we've got really good wins and top 10 wins. We've got just, I think, about 10 ranked wins against ranked teams. We've got an impressive resume. I don't think we're going to get any ugly biased surprises, which we're Nebraska, and I know we get paranoid about it, but I think I really like us finishing with like at least a top 5 seed. I expect to be like a 3 or 4 overall seed, but we'll see. The latest bracketology has us, like I said, as a 6 seed. And then this time with Virginia, UNO, and still UNO and Howard University. And if that's the case, Howard would be our first game, us as the top seed in the region. Let's see. Yeah, well, let me emphasize one more time because I felt bad because after the final Penn State game, or after the Saturday Penn State game, I'm like, all right, we're officially outright champ, number 1 seed. We got that, and we got a 4:30 game, 3:30 Central. So plan on it. And then there I am. Oh no, there's a whole freaking pick your time. So guys, 12:30 Central, 12:30 Central on Friday. So find a way off work like you did when Rhonda was making fun when we set the attendance record, the 3,300 or whatever it was on that Friday where the first game started at 3, because she's like, yeah, people found a way to get out of work early, and I'm like, do it again. It's not like football where half the office is going to be probably trying to sneak out, pretend they're sick, whatnot. Oh my dog's at the vet, gotta go. But yeah. You should
My
be able
dog's shitting
to
everywhere. I have to go.
There's a good chance that your boss may not even be that aware that there's a game going on during the lunch hour, and you can always do the "I got sick at lunch" thing. Now that I'm not working a 9 to 5
You're
job,
terrible.
I was. Well, you know what? The last few years, I just had piles and piles of sick hours, and I think I left there with like about 800 something sick hours on the table. But the thing is, you couldn't go using them freely, because after you took 6 for the year, which I was never a 6 for the year guy to the last couple of years. So I'm like, you know what? I worked hard, and I'm going to be taking like a minute fraction of 800 and something hours. So I didn't feel too bad.
I wonder
Anyway,
why you got laid off.
that wasn't it, because oh no, people tried way more stuff than, as long as you were 6 or under, they didn't care.
6
that was
6 hours
for the year.
Only 6 hours.
6 yeah, or 6 sick days. I'm sorry,
sick days. Oh, okay,
sick days.
6
Yeah,
days.
as long as you didn't take more than 6, they were like, okay, things happen.
What if
and
you
like
have a
I
chronic
said,
illness?
and for most of my 20 years there was year after year where I may not even taken a sick day. So
there was year after year where we would go on hockey trips and Dad would say, "I'm sick, I can't come in."
Yeah, well, yeah. Usually I got those days off, but there was a time or two where I'm like, this is bullshit. I don't ask for much.
Did they not give you the days off or something?
Well, you can only have so many people off. So if I was late getting them in, then somebody might have already, enough people might have had. Anyway, we're not here to talk about office sick days for 15 minutes. And I'm getting into that. So anyway,
you're boring.
Yeah, but you kept it going. Thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
anyway, 12:30 Friday is the softball game. Thank you, dear.
Shut up.
Funny story too from their trip back. I was looking through a lot of the girls are on TikTok, so I wanted to see some of the celebrations. There was one they were showing it. There's a bunch of them up on chairs and whatever. They've got one of those just hotel meeting rooms, and here they are dancing on chairs, just like those meeting room chairs. And I'm just sitting there thinking, where's Rhonda? She's got to be going, don't fall off the chairs. And nope, she was in there. I guess she just trusts Division I athletes not to fall off chairs. So good for her. But anyway, on their trip back, I saw one where 2 of them were standing in Epley looking glum, and it said, it was like Big Ten champs, my butt. They lost 20 of our bags or something.
No,
like
it was
that.
like Big Ten champs, but they lost 20 bags or something.
Yeah, I thought it was more like, but Big Ten champions, my butt. They lost our luggage. But I asked Rhonda about that. She said it was actually 22 bags that got put on the wrong plane, I guess. They got them back at 9 that night, so all was well that ended well. But that was kind of like, hey, we're riding high, Big Ten champs. Also, a bunch of bunch of fans met him at the airport. And yeah, Rhonda's one who can get choked up. Yeah, just loves her job, loves her team, and she said she got a little emotional when she saw the people who came up to the airport to wait for him. So that was pretty neat. And I guess they got delayed a little too, and everybody just hung around. Um, let's see. So here's the I had a chance to, like I said, ask Rhonda a few questions today. One thing I was getting ready to, and I told Mylie this before we started, was Alexis Jensen, and it was nothing awful. She's not, giving up 7 runs and 2/3 of an inning and just getting destroyed, but she got knocked around a little, got tapped a little. 3 of her last 4 appearances, nothing terrible, but definitely not as dominating as she had been. And I'd asked Rhonda about Emerson Cope came in to do some DPing this weekend, and she'd been using her a little the last couple of weeks. And she's an interesting one. She's had an off year at the plate because she's one of them. And Rhonda said this, and she's 100% correct. She's one of the players on the team that when she connects, the ball just comes off her bat different. It really cracks. It comes off at a high rate of speed. She has hit a lot of just like line drive home runs that are about 10 feet over the fence and still going up when they go out. But she didn't really have it going this year. But I noticed the last like I think it was this weekend and 2 weekends ago, she wasn't really getting hits, but she was she was walking a lot. Her batting average right now is 243, but her on base percentage is 403. So she's that classic money ball. It's like, yeah, she's only batting 243, but walks count too. What do we give a shit if it's a walk or a hit? She gets on base, and she's been doing that. And it's nice to see her doing that as we approach the postseason, where maybe we want to hit Alexis a little less, just in case this being her first year in D1 ball, and you got a lot longer season. And and I know those travel leagues, can play some long summers, but you're also playing it at a whole different level of ability and experience. And and you're still in that first year. Some people like to say, hey, there's no freshmen at the end of their freshman year, that they've got a year in, they're fully experienced. Yeah, but a lot of them are starting to get a little worn out, just not having had to push themselves like that before, which they learn over the course of their college career. And she did say something about, yeah, it's nice to be that Emerson's hitting well now, so I don't have to have Alexis in there hitting every single game, and we can keep her fresher. And you can see it in Jordy's pitching. What her throwing only 100 innings right now, and not 200 and something. How her performance is better this year. But anyway, I asked her. Let's see. We talked about Bridget Nemeth. I asked her what it was like getting that Big Ten championship, and because when the game was over, and she was talking about, yeah, we celebrated, but we didn't go crazy, and that made sense to me because the goal entering the season was a little more than a Big Ten title, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the goal. And I said, yeah, I kind of noticed that. It's like, yeah, they're not celebrating that Saturday win as if it's just another win, but they're not going crazy dogpiling, although they did get Rhonda with the Gatorade jug. She told that story today, so I'll tell you. I told Mylie, it's like you saw on screen where they hit her with the ice water, and I think it was Hannah Kaur and Ava Kuzak, and and she was saying, she's like, and it was kind of chilly there. It was like low 50s and a little windy. So she's like, I got a little cold, and she said all she wanted to do after that game, because you're hanging around a little, and she's like, I just wanted to get back to the hotel and get a warm shower. And she said she got in, finally got her shower, got changed because they wanted her downstairs for something, and then out in the hall they hit her again. they iced her again, and it's like, oh, poor Rhonda. She looked today. I would describe her as, she looked kind of tired, but very, very happy. And then afterwards, she kind of even said, "Yeah, guys," she's like, "I'm kind of out of it this morning. Try and make me sound good when you're writing about me." And so yeah, we are. But yeah, I think she's earned a tired, like early in the week after getting that notch in her belt. I did ask her about. I said, let's go back to senior day. How cool was it that Talia Tokheim, Kate Kaneda, and Alina Felix all get on base together? I'd say they all got hits, and in a way they did. Talia, is it Talia or Talia? I always thought it was Talia for some reason, even though it looks like
I thought it was
Talia.
Talia.
I thought it was too. Oh, I can always check that later. I'm never prepared. Uh, but her and Alina Felix both ripped shots, and Kaneda got doinked by a pitch. So she got on base the hard way.
I was against Iowa.
Yeah, that's why I said I was taking her back to senior day.
Oh, okay.
That against Iowa, and so and she said that was one where you just can't, if you put it in a movie and you get the three seniors in and they all score one after the other. No, everybody's like, that's too cheesy. Don't put that in the movie. She just thought that was one of the neatest things that the three of them just got to go bang, 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 plating one across. Let's see. And then I talked to her about Nemeth, the Big Ten championship. It means a lot to her. She's like, it's not the end all beat all goal, but she's really very proud because it's not an easy thing to do in the Big Ten. Like I said, it's been 12 years since she won her last one. I believe she had to share that one. And yeah, 20? And then if what Nate said was correct, and it usually is, 24 years since Nebraska's won an outright title in any league, because they'd won some in the Big 12 too, the Big 12 and the Big 8.
Are you talking about softball only?
Softball only.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you said
only.
any league.
Well, because they've been in 3 different leagues.
Okay, I thought you meant
the Big 8, and then the Big 8 turned into the Big 12, and then going to the Big 10.
Yep.
So and then I asked her about Emerson. I asked her if she felt like she did everything they could to be in the top 8. So it was fun. She's always seems comfortable in press conferences. She's kind of like Matt Rule in that respect. That it's like you can kind of tell when a coach is treating you as a necessary evil and part of your job, as opposed to enjoying interacting with the press. And it's a nice press corps. There's nobody in there trying to do what I call it, like with Indiana, and let's see if I can piss off Bobby Knight, where they just, I get, let me put it this way. I get friends going, you got to ask this, this, and this and see what they say. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. And here's why. A, I know why you're asking me to do it. B, I already know their answer. I don't want to ask a question I already know the answer to, unless I'm looking for a reaction. And I don't want that reaction just to have them blow up at me so I can get noticed. Because hey, who's that the reporter that he's getting pissed at that asked that stupid question? Sometimes I'll ask a question because I just don't want to see how they react in general to a question they get asked over and over. Because sometimes they'll give a little more away. Like Roy Manning is the new edges coach for football, and I know what his answer is going to be because I asked him, because I saw we've got a lot of 4-star guys on those edge rushers, a lot of highly ranked guys who are highly ranked at recruits who just couldn't get to the quarterback last year. So I asked him, do you think you've got the talent, do you think you've got ways you can coach them, that you have talent to work with, that these are guys who can get that job done, who can pressure quarterbacks this year? Of course he's going to say yes. No one's going to say, nah, my talent sucks. John Butler kind of alluded to that and found himself out of a job. Let's put it that way. No, and I asked him that, and his face just lit up. Like he's like, oh yeah, yes. And he's like, oh, you could tell he's fired up about his guys, whereas you might get one like, yeah, definitely. I love the talent I got when, but like Frost and his coaches his first year had to fake a lot about how they loved the talent they had because they didn't really get left a whole lot. But anyway, let's check some more. That's stuff that like Rhonda talked about or whatever, and why I won't ask a piss her off question. I'll ask her a tough question if I have to, because it's fair. I'll ask a player a tough question. I'm not going to, you're being a dick if you make fun of them, but they're Division I coaches and athletes. They've done lots tougher thing than have to explain their 0 for 8 weekend at the plate. I don't worry about that, and I don't think they do either. So let's see what we got on comments here. Not till we're married, bud. What was he talking? What were we talking about when he said that?
He said, "Show me your dog," and I said, "Show me your tits."
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Awesome. Okay, what do we got here? If the Huskers win the softball championship, let's shave our heads, Andy. Go Big Red. Nebraska strong.
Well, he's
Yeah,
almost halfway there. His freaking hairline is non-existent.
yeah. I was gonna say it's like
And you've cursed through
you
with
can
your.
kind of see the yeah. Let's just say there's a nice shiny palette. I mean, it's fuzz covered, but yeah, I'm far from not bald. That ship started sailing in my late 20s.
Yeah,
A
and you've given it
national
to your son
title.
too.
What's that?
I said you've given it to Drew too.
No, is he already losing it? Well, he's
Well,
older
his
than I was.
hairline is like halfway back his like
You talking
back
about his
here.
forehead or his bald spot?
His forehead. I think he's starting to get a bald spot. I don't
Uh,
know. Maybe.
yeah, I don't know. Getting a 5 head.
He's had a
Um,
5 head for a long time.
he does have a bit. He does have a drive-in screen forehead. Yeah, I'm not gonna make head shaving challenges unless they're a true long shot. And when you're number 2 in the country, you're not a long shot. That's not a head shaving thing I'm going to do. Like whenever hockey, like sometimes they'd play in a tournament where I knew we'd be lucky to win a game, let alone the tournament. I'd go, yeah,
You're
I'll
such a
shave that
dick.
head, huh?
You're such a dick.
Yeah. No, it's like we're going up to play some tournament where I know we're going to roast everybody. I'm not shaving my head for that. Yeah, if you want my head shaved, be a long shot and win something. But remember Mike Condon? It was one of Mylie's assistant coaches. He did that with his Lincoln boys once, and they
His
pulled a
beard.
shocker and won that tournament. And Mike was just this wonderful little hippie dude with a gray ponytail and long beard, and he had this wonderfully long beard that he had to because they didn't care about the bald head. They wanted that beard. He had to take that off. And he was bummed. Hey, we got Tiger Shark Diver in the house. Let's go women's softball. Hell yeah.
As opposed to
Let's.
men's softball.
Uh-oh. Well, there is no men's softball. Well,
Exactly.
yeah.
That was the joke.
Oh, yeah, there's worse
Thanks.
things than saying women's softball.
Thanks for explaining
Let's
that.
not look for excuses, Mylie. Speaking of which, Connor, your wife looks bored over there
Tired.
yawning.
Tired.
It's like I'm just waiting for when we put her in the wheelchair because she's always cracking her neck, which is like the worst thing you can do to your neck. Connor says they getting paid now. They don't have softball.
Who?
I mean, I can name you one or two for sure.
Jordy.
But softball doesn't have your budget for. I've seen a list of like the budgets at least for revenue sharing, and it's not much coming softball and baseball's way. That might go up. Uh-oh. What we got? Hairline has a warrant the way it's running away. Yeah. I outran the cops in college, and now my hairline's outrunning them.
Didn't we all outrun the cops in college?
What's that?
So didn't we all outrun the cops in college?
Yeah, I retired 3-0 from and running from the cops.
I retired 1-0.
Oh, good. I'm not going to share those stories tonight. Maybe when the Husker Happy Hour comes back on, and I'm enjoying Happy Hour on the show.
Oh God, with his sponsor me Propel. I don't have any with me right now. I do have a
Then you can't get
though.
You got the doggy dogs. Yeah, tell us if you like us bringing old Tatum in on the show. Tatum, he's ready to call him, run him around today, give him a good walking.
He didn't run. He ran around when Connor got home.
Yeah,
he's in the kennel during the day.
Yep. Oh, by the way, since it looks like we're a darn good shot to host both a regional and a super regional, should we win the regional, get the old TV set up for Shorzy again. I'll probably be spending a night or two those weekends.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, like I took my TV down. It's already set up.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying I haven't been there to play with old Doggo in a while, and I'll be in Maryland this weekend.
It was a joke.
I know. If anybody is going to Maryland and you see me walking around, feel free to say howdy.
He bites.
Husker fan, I'm kind of questioning how big a crowds we're gonna see in Maryland. Like Purdue, we had pretty good crowds at Purdue last year, and also far and away the Big Ten's best softball press box, like one with multiple like a big center one for Purdue, and then they had the side ones. So for each of the visiting teams, that place is that was just the best press box. Paige Trutna, who's the softball SID last year, that was her first road trip, and her like for into a softball press box. I think she said, and I was like, and she was just absolutely spoiled because it's like, yeah, they're not all like this page. Let's just put it this way. I'll probably be out, even in Lincoln, I'll be outside. Like all the press will be outside for those games, working them under tents and on tables and stuff. Kind of like I did at where is it? I
Oklahoma
don't know if I
State.
had the picture. Well, Oklahoma State, I was outside. I was outside for a regional there in 22, and then I was outside this year. Just everybody was outside except Oklahoma State, and then the visiting SIDs and radio and all that. Let's see. I don't think I did though, because that's Texas or that's Tennessee, and that's duh. Nope, I don't. Yeah, I don't have one handy. But yeah, LSU had a nice little deck and tent area and whatnot. But yeah, you get used to making sure to check the weather when you hit the road to cover softball. Let's just put it that way.
No.
Let's see. So what do we got left? I'd say we're about done. Everybody keep coming with questions if you got them. There we go. Let's see. And you said Andy, you should start selling ad space for NIL. Corn Nation brought to you by Runza, Valentino's Pizza, and Fairbury Hot Dogs.
That sounds like a stomach ache.
Not the Fairbury hot dogs, man. Those are just sent straight from heaven.
The red ones?
Yeah, I mean we get like a free something from the box that like they don't have a press box spread for softball like they do football, but we do get a ticket to go grab dogs. And I was telling them about LSU last year where we had like Jimmy John's or local sandwich place, like sandwich box lunches. There's the Mylie board.
I can't help it now. I've started.
I know. But and then for dinner they just had some amazing stuff, some chicken, like shrimp pasta with this Cajun sauce. And I'd been asked, what it was like down there when they're trying to figure out what to do up here. And they're like, well, we're just going to probably give people tickets for the Fairburys, like apologetically. And I'm like, well, that's fine. Because next week we were at Tennessee. They had food, but not for us. And then they had the drink fridge, but it was in their press box, and we were outside, and their press box was locked, and they had like old ladies on stools at each door. So we had to knock to get, as press, we had to knock and get the door unlocked to get let into the press box so we could get drinks or whatnot. So I mean, so Nebraska's a happy medium. That we've got our drink cooler, we get our little ticket for like hot dog or burger and chips or whatever. I'm thrilled. They got the Fairbury Red Hots there, and I can eat all of those.
You can
those are
scarf
delicious.
down a hot dog or 10.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm the one that goes up there, turns in my card, and I said, I'll have a hot dog, and I'll have another hot dog that I'll pay for. and it's a good deal. We'll see about ad space. If we start selling ad space, I'm going to want a little for myself to start. But no, I'm kidding. Tell you what, I'm all over it as soon as I get my Propel deal. So you guys, you start emailing Propel and say there's this weirdo doing softball, sports movies, and football in Omaha, Nebraska, and he's killing it, and he's drinking Propel like it's water, because it is.
And his hairline is basically on his neck.
Sexy as hell.
God.
As my daughter, I certainly hope that's your reaction. And let's
yeah.
see, what else did he say? He said, Connor, would you approve of Mylie doing a swimsuit calendar for Husker NIL? Let's just go straight to dad on this one. That's a hard no, dude.
That's a hard no for me.
You just ask your hockey questions, Nebraska Strong. Stop trying to get my daughter on a swimsuit calendar. Let's see. So we'll start winding it down here. Here's what I just wanted to talk about real quick, and we got time. I just kind of wanted, I'm not going to go through players and all that since we got a few games coming up. Look for Corn Nation once we figure out each day who we're going to play the next day, as long as we keep going, and that'll happen twice. then that night I will get something up, a quick review of that team and info on the next day and all that. So right now we're looking at either Michigan or Ohio State. Ohio State's the 8 seed, Michigan's the 9 seed, but Ohio State is number 68 in RPI, and Michigan is number 40. Michigan finished 33-19 with 11-13 conference record. Ohio State finished 26-26 with a 13-11 conference record. So I think Ohio State went after a little tougher in the non-conference play. And then after that, Washington will play, I believe, Minnesota got the last spot, beat Iowa out. Suck it, Iowa. But boom, hit some of those DX fireworks for me. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, D Generation X proudly brings to you your tag team champions of the world, the badass Billy Gunn, the road dog Jesse James, the new age outlaws. So suck it, Iowa. Anyhow, so I believe Washington should have no trouble at all with Minnesota. Washington is the 5 seed. They're number 28 in RPI. They finished 35-17 and 16-8 in the conference, which I'm sure they're not real happy about when they started out, I believe, 12-0, 15-0, something like that, and then ran into UCLA and then Oregon and then whoever they played in the final weekend. But they're still hanging in there just out of the top 25. And otherwise, it would be Indiana. Hi, Connor. There's Connor.
Hello. I've come for the dog.
Look at the shit-eating grin on Miley's face. No, not Tatum. Bye, Tatum. See you, buddy.
Tatum says bye.
Your favorite person.
Good night, buddy.
There's hanging out with your number 2 and 3 favorite people there. Favorite guy right here. Anyway. What did he show me Tatum's balls or something?
No,
anyway,
he doesn't have balls.
What?
You want to see a scar? He doesn't have balls.
Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that.
Neither.
Anyway, Indiana's number 37 in RPI. They're 41-13 overall, 17-7 in the conference. But I think they're a paper tiger. They always give us trouble. They drive me absolutely batty because their coach is a lunatic. She charged the ump last year.
Oh yeah.
And then they've got then half their lineups like those little slappy hitty assholes that just like run at the pitcher, just trying to chop balls over the third baseman's head and whatnot. It's just annoying. It makes me so proud to be a Nebraska fan that we have none of that. We've got plenty of fast play, like Jordy. We've got legitimate speedsters and Jordy, Hannah Kaur, Sammy Bland, Kaneda, Kennedy Williams. We've got some Nessa. Hey, and by the way, quick hand for Nessa McMillan, got her first hit as a Husker. And then Nebraska softballs, I gave him some crap. On their Twitter, they did her dirty and said it's a single. And like, no, she ripped a double, man. She crushed one. And apparently she's pretty popular with the team. That like they said there were some tears waiting for her when she came back to the dugout because they were so happy that she got, because she has barely gotten to hit. She got some starts in center field last year as a true freshman, but she was always DP'd for, and she's done a lot of pinch running. But yeah, we've got a bunch of speedsters, and none of them do that slap run out of the box 3 steps toward the pit. I think every time they should be out of the baseline because they're 3 steps off the first baseline once they've stopped running at the pitcher. It's absolutely irritating. Oh, Tatum's back.
Did he do both?
He took a long pee.
Did he poop?
No, but he pooped right after I took him out.
Husker Heat, where you find out whether or not the dog pooped. You get that right here. All right. So anyway, Indiana, they only played one non-conference game. I got to get through this. They only played one non-conference game against a ranked team, and that was Ohio State when they weren't ranked. And I think or maybe they were 25th at the time or something, but that was it. And then, they only played 3 other ranked teams. They played Arizona State, played Oregon out of conference, and then were swept by UCLA. And so they went 0-6 against ranked teams. But I went down their schedule. Indiana's schedule their non-conference schedule is a joke. They're trying to pump the record, and I don't know. I guess they're at number 37, so it's working. But I think Washington. I don't think we'll see Indiana. I think we're going to see Washington. That's just a much more complete and battle-tested team. And then after that, the final, it's going to be no shock that we're going to get Oregon or UCLA, barring a Purdue level. Like last year, Purdue kind of just bashed their way into the final. And it was the final. Did they lose to Michigan or did they lose in the semis?
They lost to UCLA in the final, I thought.
I thought Michigan won the final.
Shit, did they? I thought UCLA won.
Look it up for me, just real quick. So anyway, just real quick for you. UCLA's number 7 in RPI. They're 45-7. Both finished 20-4 in the conference. Oregon last year got some crap for their schedule, and they ended up not hosting. They were ranked in the top 10 most of the year.
Oh,
but
Michigan won.
Who did Michigan?
They beat Indiana.
Michigan beat Indiana in the final?
Yeah.
That's 2 years ago, isn't it?
May 2025. That's last year.
I didn't think Indiana made the final. I double check that.
Oh, sorry, UCLA. AI was wrong.
Okay, yeah. I'm not going to give any crap for that. AI has hung me out to dry a couple times before I learned my lesson. So Michigan beat UCLA.
Yeah.
Okay, so UCLA, Purdue got to the semis then. Okay, but anyway, yeah, they got a lot farther than anybody expected them to get. But Oregon got pushed out of a hosting opportunity because of their weak schedule, and they had a couple of bad losses to bad teams in that. So I think they got pushed back to like number 18. Message heard, they're ranked like 16th, but their RPI is 9. And if that's the case, you took care of your scheduling problems. You played a much tougher schedule. So you've probably got a more battle-tested Oregon team who's going to have the number 2 seed since they won that last series against UCLA, and they finished 40-11 overall. So yeah, if we can take care of our business, then yeah, look for, I'd say, the way it is, maybe it's Oregon right now since they seem to have UCLA's number most of the weekend. But anyway, that's where we sit. Follow cornnation.com. I'll have plenty of stuff. I'll have recaps, but then I'll also try and get previews for the next day's games later that night. So if you're a night owl like me, you can watch that or just catch it the next morning. I'll keep you guys informed. Who knows? But John's always trying to talk me into doing more little quick videos. So maybe I'll do some little post game, like 3 or 4 minute videos, and we'll just
you gotta do them on the toilet.
No, that's John's thing, man. That's like somebody stepping over the top rope to get in the ring, like Andre the Giant, man. That's Andre the Giant's thing there. You don't go doing that. I'm not going to start that kind of trouble.
That was
John,
a joke.
If you're listening,
it's a joke.
And what I said was totally serious about stepping over ropes like Andre the Giant.
Okay.
You just settle down, Missy. Where's the dog? Show us the dog again.
The dog's in bed.
Damn it. Okay, well, if the dog's
so
in bed,
should I be.
It's time to end the show. If the dog's in bed, Mylie needs to be in bed, and I just need to. It's like I got all my laundry folded. I just got to do a couple articles tomorrow, and then, geez, I guess head down to Kansas City about 3 a.m. so I can catch my early flight. God. Yeah, those flights from Kansas City were like half the price of going to DC from Omaha, so that's a no-brainer. So, anyhows. We'll see you in Maryland if you're going. If not, you might see me on the TV. Oh, holy cow, it's the bum from the dark. Hey, get a job, you bum. Let's see, what do we got? One more here. Todd Prather, let's go Huskers, go Big Red. Couldn't think of a better way to end it myself. Everybody that's watching, thank you. Next Tuesday, we'll be here to talk about the first I wonder when the last time Nebraska hosted a regional was. We'll have a chat about that. Rhonda's thrilled about a chance to make all that happen. So fun times are coming up. Guys, you have a wonderful week. Huskers, get her done. Mylie?
JBR.
No, this is postseason, man. We can't abbreviate it. Let's hear it.
No. It's my thing.
You're not going to say go Big Red?
Go Big Red.
All right. We're going to force excitement. Man, we can't be dicking around in postseason here. I'm not superstitious, and it's not paranoia. They're after me.
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week. eventually.